Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Solent Airport on the south coast of the UK. This is the latest release from those masters of Airfield's Burning Blue design, and you always know with Burning Blue design you're going to get a lot of detail and a lot of life, and a huge thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to fly this new release and to give you an idea of what it's all about. So Solent Airport is the second home to Spitfires.com, which is an entity close to my heart, having flown in their TR9 Spitfire Gilder, and also having flown their simulator at Goodwood, which is great fun, and also been lucky enough to be there on the first day of the round the world trip of Gertie. So I will always do whatever I can to shout out about Spitfires.com, that is for sure. But anyway, we're here to talk about Solent Airport from Burning Blue Design. As you can see already, there's a lot of detail here and a lot of life. But I will tell you what they put in their information, rather than me come up with words, make things up. Who am I to change the creativity and change the thought that they put into their words when they put their information together? So Solent Airport is located on the south coast between the cities of Southampton and Portsmouth. Solent Airport began its history in 1917 as a naval seaplane training school. Training continued throughout both world wars, with the airfield being commissioned HMS Daedalus in 1939. By the 1960s, HMS Daedalus began hovercraft trials to test hovercraft for inter-service military uses. These trials continued until 1982 before being closed. Today, the Hovercraft Museum offers visitors the chance to browse the largest collection of hovercraft in the world. HMS Daedalus was formally closed in 1996, but brought back into existence when Fareham Borough Council purchased the site in 2015. It was officially renamed Solent Airport in 2016. Today, Solent Airport is a busy civilian airfield with local flight school, Phoenix Aviation, the HM Coast Guard Search and Rescue, and Spitfires.com all calling it their home. Solent Airport has been faithfully recreated by Burning Blue Design, undertaking on-site visits. We have also collaborated with actual pilots based at Solent to ensure the highest levels of accuracy. This scenery features over 200 custom 3D objects, each with physical-based rendering (PBR) textures, based on the 2022 layout with accurate runways, taxiways and custom taxi signs. Highly detailed control tower, cafe and hangar interiors. Animated hangar doors which close at night. These open manually with taxi lights, and they are Phoenix Aviation Hangar Parking 2, Hangar P, Parking 29, AT Aviation Hangar Parking 37, Hangar F, Parking 44. We also have 3 helipads, completely custom windsock and dynamic animated flags, animated spectators, which is a first for Burning Blue Design, optimised to blend in with local photogrammetry. Real-life static aircraft seen at Solent are the Phoenix Aviation Icarus C-42, Golf Oscar Kilo Tango Alpha and Golf Papa Alpha Papa India, and Piper PA-28 Warrior 2, Golf Bravo Oscar Hotel Alpha. Britain Norman Trilander and Defenders, HM Coast Guard Augusta Westland AW169, Golf Mike Charlie Golf Oscar, and Supermarine Spitfire Mark 9s, Gilder and Gertie, the famous girls. Cessna C152 Mike Charlie, Golf Alpha Tango Mike Charlie. Accurate night lighting and dynamic weather compatibility. Enhanced high resolution colour corrected ground textures. Local features fully modelled, including Daedalus sculpture in Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee Park, beachfront huts and groins, Seamast and CETC colleges, Faraday and Daedalus business parks, and Daedalus Converter Station. So there you have it. That's quite a bit. And if you're wondering why there are so many Britain Norman aircraft around here, it's because they have a head office there. So that's why we're seeing so many aircraft there. there is really so much to this this little airport. And I think one of the great things about what Burning Blue Design do, as I have said already, is that they pack in a lot of detail, they pack in a lot of life. Now, I say this quite a lot when I do these kind of videos. For some people, they're not interested in that. You know, people will say, well, no, I just want to jump in, I want to fly. The important part for me is the actual flying part. I'm not worried about the eye candy, as it were. But I think if you're flying GA, if you're flying warbirds, if you're doing a lot of low and slow stuff, especially if you fly here in real life and you're looking to get an experience which mimics that, then this is the kind of detail that you want, because anything that adds to the immersion, anything that helps bring it to life, whether it's a sign, whether it's a tree, whether it's a sculpture, you know, these are the kind of things that can really make a difference. And even a beach can make you feel like you're there. So we are going to be taking City of Exeter, which is another of the beautiful Spitfires.com Spitfires, for a quick trip around to see what this looks like from the air. Right, well, let's say goodbye to Gertie and Gilda and head off. Glorious day for doing this. So we shall enter the runway. We're going to dispense with doing lots of checks today because we just want to get in the air and see what this beautiful airfield looks like. But normally we'd be doing a run-up check just over there on the other side so that we don't block the Alpha 1 holding point there. Okay, so let's just bring it to a gentle halt. Okay, so quick look down, let's have some nose trim. We had an interesting chat on the Discord the other day. Yes, we do have a Discord. I'll put a link down below. With regards to whether trim should be down or up or central for takeoff. Some of the old manuals say trim should be down. Some modern day pilots like a bit of trim up, and some other people like it neutral. So there you go. Right. Add a bit of power. Use the brakes. Gear up. And let's come back on the power a little bit and back on the RPM. Climbing nicely. And let's go and have a look. Absolutely flouting all noise abatement rules here. We're not far off. There is a different circuit for warbirds, and I guess we're not a million miles off that, although some might argue otherwise. But let's have a look. Certainly a very distinctive airfield, that's for sure. You've got that huge primary radar sitting in the middle there. Nice detail. As always, if anyone is watching this knows Solent Airport and has flown here for real, I'd be really interested to see what you think. But Burning Blue Design have always got this knack of really bringing these airports to life, and when I make videos like this, normally there's usually one or two people that come in and say, wow, I learned to fly here, seeing this really brought back memories. They've captured it absolutely perfectly. Okay, let's go and have a look at the beach huts. Give them a little thrill. Fantastic. Such character. Okay. So we'll just do a quick run along the coast to the east now, just to get a feel for the area. This is a lovely area to fly if you haven't. You've got the Isle of Wight just over there. You've got the south coast. You've got Portsmouth, which of course is a huge, hugely important area for the Royal Navy, which is one of the reasons why HMS Daedalus was based here. There we have Portsmouth down there with the Spinnaker Tower. That's one of the visual reporting points for Solent Airport. So we'll just come around to Eastney over here, and then we shall head to Goodwood, so you can have a look at that as well. Goodwood being the head office and home of Spitfires.com, but as I said in the introduction, they also used Solent. Now it's nice to be back in the summer. So, Daedalus, what's that all about? Are you sitting comfortably? In a nutshell, Daedalus was a clever chap. He was a renowned architect of Greek, or rather in Greek mythology. And if my memory serves me right, he was in Crete, having escaped murdering his nephew, because he recognised that his nephew was cleverer than he was. And he was in Crete, and King Minos was a pal of his, and through a story that I'm not going to go into detail here, King Minos' wife had a dalliance, shall we say, with a sacrificial bull, or what was meant to be a sacrificial bull, from the King Neptune, that King Minos had decided not to use, and had used your come on a garden standard bull, and you should never upset the gods. So anyway, long story short, Neptune arranged it so that King Minos' wife would fall in love with the bull, and the result of that was the Minotaur, which was half man, half bull. You can see where that was going. So King Minos had a chat with Daedalus and said, can you build a labyrinth to imprison the Minotaur in, which he did, and it was very clever. And King Minos used to like to put his prisoners, enemies, people like that in there as well. And he was mightily pleased with the work that Daedalus had done for him. However, enter Theseus, who, with the help of King Minos's daughter, Ariadne, he killed the Minotaur and managed to escape the labyrinth. And I'm going to shut up now because we're going to have a quick look at Goodwood, and this story will continue shortly. So this is Goodwood, another burning blue design masterpiece, absolutely gorgeous little airport. It's not an airport, it's an airfield, aerodrome. Lots of nice detail in here as well, and you can see how close it is to Solent. But that big green hangar there, just on the wingtip now, is where Spitfires.com are based. So where were we? Right. So yes, so Theseus was sent. Long story short, because of another wrong that had been committed, the Minos had demanded that because his son had been killed by the Athenians, that they sent basically sacrificial human beings to come and get eaten by the Minotaur. So they sent Theseus, who was going to actually kill the Minotaur and thereby reduce the threat. So Theseus comes along, helped by Ariadne. He manages to kill the Minotaur and escapes the labyrinth using string that Ariadne had given him. Now, King Minos was not too chuffed about this. He was mightily fed up about it. So, and he suspected that Daedalus had helped because he was the architect of the labyrinth. He suspected that he'd helped the cause, and so Daedalus was in prison with his son Icarus. Now, there's a name that a lot of people will have definitely heard of. Again, long story short, another nice pause there. Do not pause, thank you. Long story short, Daedalus, who was very clever, knew that they couldn't escape Crete by sea because King Minos and his men were keeping an eye on ships and everything. So he thought, we can fly. So he made a set of wings out of wax and feathers, and he and Icarus escaped by flying. The problem was that Icarus was having too much fun, and although the father had warned him not to fly too close to the sun, he was overcome by the pleasure of flight, which I think is something we can all associate with, and flew too close to the sun. Sun melted the wax that was holding the feathers on, and he plunged into the sea, and that was the end of that. But Daedalus recognised for his genius, for the fact that he had enabled them to fly, and thus a fitting name for HMS Daedalus, don't you think? Anyway, any Greek scholars out there, my apologies if I've just absolutely trampled all over Greek mythology there, but that's my understanding of what happened, and there you go. So there's Portsmouth just over there, so as you can see we're heading back now. So just tipping in now, there we see Solent Airport just on the nose. So you can kind of see from this side there's a lot to look at in this area. Southampton over there. Also, with the heliports here and the fact the Coast Guard here, this is a great location to base the High Performance Group H145 to do helimed and rescue work and all that sort of thing. So, very useful place. Okay, right, we're going to bring it around now, and effectively we're going to join base on the Warbird circuit. And then we can do our curved approach Warbird style. Bit of a stutter there. Just keep an eye on the speed. Let's have the prop fully forward. I find it's quite interesting doing a warbird approach over new scenery, especially for the first time, because you kind of have to get your bearings again. You don't have a nice long straight run in where you can see a nice runway and everything looks tickety-boo. Okay, let's have the gear. Keep an eye on the speed. Got much in the way of wind, but there is something there. Let's drop the flap, trim accordingly. Losing some FPS there. So to the left of the centre line, which certainly wouldn't win us any prizes for spot landing, but we got down in one piece. And I think it is always interesting just to get the lay of the land of a new scenery, because you think you're used to it, and then landmarks and things like that change, and your feel for it changes. But anyway, thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed that. Fantastic scenery, really nice to look at and share it with you. And I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.